So here's a spring. I'm gonna get some water here. I think it's pretty good. Let's see. Pipes coming out from under the ground. Got a little water. I don't know if you guys can see or not. I just found this little slug infested mountaintop area. It's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see or not, but that's exactly where I slept in my little tent. And it rained. You can hear it now. It rained and rained and rained some more. Rained some more. So it's a tip for you guys, and I'll show you later if I remember. Turn my light off. Basically, if you have a tarp tent, like a Henry Shire's tarp tent, or any of them really. Like I have the Luna Solo. If you have any of those guys, it's a single wall tarp tent kind of situation with bug net. If you bring like a microfiber cloth, kind of like a chamois. I call it a ShamWow. This is my ShamWow, but it's just a microfiber cloth. You can get a pack of 50 on Amazon. I dry my dishes with them at home, and I also bring one or two to dry tents out and stuff like that, and to use as a general wash rag, just not for heated purposes. You don't want to hold a hot pot with a polyester rag. But anyway, dried my tent up to probably 80% dry, and I just wipe it down on the inside and then wipe it down on the outside. And I mean, the trail is a stream. You probably can't see here, but there's a puddle there and a stream on the trail, and that's my little spot in there. Put some light on it again. You guys can see it at all, but that's my spot. First spot of the trip. I met a few hikers back and decided to keep going. And man, I was soaked when I set up. I had to set up in pouring rain. But since I was younger, I remember in my grandmother's backyard, it would start pouring rain. I'd be bored, and I'd be 18, and I'd come out of my room. I'd come out of my room with bunch of stuff in my hands, and my grandmother would be like, "What are you doing?" So I'll be out in the backyard and it's pouring rain and storming. It's like I got to practice. So really doing that back then was really good for me. So anytime you're at home, you have equipment you're excited about, get excited about it and take it out and use it. I live in the city now, so I don't have a backyard. Or I'd be doing that with a lot of my stuff and showing you guys videos in my backyard all the time, showing you stuff I was motivated about. So get out there and do it in a bad storm or or whenever. Just see how it goes, see how hard it is. You know, last night was really, really difficult, and it made me think about, you know, turning back and canceling the trip. You know, so wet and cold. It's only probably like 50, 60 degrees out, and I was freezing cold because I was soaked to the core. And, you know, everything was fine. I got my sleeping bag out. I brought a synthetic sleeping bag for this kind of weather because this is Vermont. And just got in my sleeping bag with my wet clothes until they dried out. Alright, well, I'm going to start my morning hike. I had some carrot sticks. I chopped up some carrot sticks for this trip. So I had a little serving this morning. Some water, not even any coffee yet. I don't have a lot of water. Go figure, all this rain. But I ended up in a spot without water up on this ridge. And I was hoping to get down off of it and get water before I camped, but that's how it goes. I had daylight left, but that daylight turned to rain, like way pouring rain that you don't want to stay out in. Alright, so this is the second day, I believe. I don't know. Second day. Probably put in close to 10 miles yesterday. And I also drove 5 hours and took an hour ferry at 6 in the morning. It was a really long day. Alright, let me turn this camera off and get to business. By the way, I'm on the trail. It's 6 o'clock a.m. exactly. So if I play my cards right, with this rain drowning out smells and sounds, then maybe I'll see an animal, a bear, something cool. Anytime I leave out at 5:30 or 6 in the morning, I have a good chance of seeing bears. A lot of times they walk on the same trails that we do. It's pretty cool to see them. So, you know, I don't recommend everybody going looking for bears, but I'm a professional naturalist, a wilderness guide, and I have years and years of experience. I've actually spent more than a year of my life living in the woods like this. So, you know, it's different for an experienced person and someone that understands that if something were to happen, that it's not the bear's fault. My family also understands that. And I also know how to make sure the bear doesn't do anything to me. And they're not mean creatures. I mean, you could get one that's sick or injured, and they could tear you a new one for no reason. But same thing, just walking down the street in your hometown, you can run into somebody that's injured or mentally injured, and they definitely can mess you up for no reason at all. So it happens all the time. So yeah, you definitely have to be nervous of bears, but don't let that rule your life in going to the woods. Now when you're talking about up north and out west, when it's grizzly and brown bear territory, that's a whole nother story. And I don't go looking for those guys at all. I've seen them, and I try to do what I'm supposed to do there to not see them. Alright, let me turn this off. Anyway, 6 a.m. hiking, you hear the birds, a little rain, and I think the wind's pushing the water out of the trees a little bit, so it sounds like it's raining even more. It's definitely very misty and wet. So, alright. You guys get outside and go do something. There he is.